So let me take off all this and this can get it right for me at go. So I come to the gold for the day. So a normal early pass strategy is simple. What played out last week was this power of three. We can see that. And even here, power of three played out here, but that's a structure. And so that we have in there here today. Maybe yes, maybe no. So let's quickly take a measurement of obvious point, which we call the pivot point. And of course, the most obvious for me, the previous day high and the previous day low. So these are very closer range liquidity area. Okay. So you want to look at the high and the low previous day. I can even take this one away because it's not closer yet. It become what do we call this one? Rejection block, probably when the market's going to travel there. So I take up this and then probably just go to the low. There are other pivot point here, but I don't want everything to be too clumsy. But let's just take it because it's a very strong confluence. We have another confluence here. Remember, we actually marked this on 4 hours and then even back to 1 hour. So remember our strategy is purely price action, resistance support, seller support strategy, and working with the liquidity level. So on a good day, let us go look at where is the immediate structure. So we take our market. We saw that the market was generally an uptrend. Then we have ABIC. So this is where we rejected last week because of this unmitigated order block before, and it has been mitigated now. And then we'll break down. So we are going to look at the meeting break of structure, which was here. So and then so that means we have another block here on daily time frame that is unmitigated. Do you understand? Okay. So if that's the case, we have this market, the total breakout and the reversal that we're having right now is this. Okay. So we expect the market inside this box, but that has not happened. Is it going to happen? Oh, we don't know. So let's quickly do what we want to do. So let's quickly do what we want to do, right? So we move this way to 4 hours. Go to 4 hours. So now 4 hours, what can we see? We have to open our eye very well. However, we still identify some pivot point, which is here. Do you understand? So we still identify it, but nevertheless, let's just go ahead. So we have structural movement here, but at least the most immediate one we can see is here, and then we have another one here. So that means we have another one here. So obviously, having another one there, that's this market structure shift. That makes a lot of sense. Remember, when trading the market, we're looking at trend and point of interest. So we have a total change because even on daily time frame, that has been a power of three. That's a very strong reversal point. And then we had on 4 hours a market structure shift. So what you want was this mitigation, which really happened. Here you have that. And a very nice one. Mitigated. Very, very nice one. And then we have a break of structure. So this structural break, that means we have another 4 hours probably point of interest. unmitigated. So even if the market rally back here, it's not a guarantee that it's going to go up. Remember, so we still have this as the previous day high and this as the previous day low. So just understand that this is a pivot point. So that means of 4 hours, we have a pending unmitigated overblock above for 4 hours. And then I can just put it this way. Let's quickly do that as fast as possible. For H UOB. All right, for HUOB, and this is 1D UOB. So I'll go to 1 hour. So 1 hour, of course, we've got all of these break and all of these move. So let's quickly walk by this downtrend that has happened here. That was so obvious. All right, so we got a break of structure. So we have this internal low and then a rally. So that means altogether, we have a shift the same way, and then we have the 4 hours, all right? The market structure shift. So when the 1 hour was mitigated, nice one. And altogether, we still break here. And that took all of this. This is a breakout structure. Oh, so we have a breakout structure here. But this is a market structure shift, travel back. So we have a breakout structure here. And we have a point of interest. So the origin was not visited, so we have this. So now on 1 hour, then we could do this back to this point or this fair value gap and drop. So we just have to be conscious of everything we're looking at in the chart right now. Or we could come down here, sweep this liquidity, and have a touch here. So you can see, so it's about buy or sell, and then but we have to confirm. Now, for us to get closer to our entry, we have to step down to another lower time frame, which is 30 minutes. Of course, repeated actions from 30 minutes just to 4 hours, 1 hour. And I think you can find this now on 30 minutes, this point here. So that means for this market, we're going to sell. So look at it on 30 minutes, we're going to sell. So wow, we have liquidity lying down here. And then we have this unmitigated order block. So we're supposed to be selling before eventually we may buy or break everything, scatter the whole market. This is the support down here that if we break, then it's over. So we have to be traveling down. That's what it is, okay? So now let's go. Your own is, okay, how we travel is not your business. Your business is that where can I get my own entry and take my money? Yeah, so you have no business with. Okay, so let's quickly look at it that way. 15 minutes last bus stop. Can you see something now? So if we look at 15 minutes, you have another redefined. Here you have this. If you stop hunt, break structure, we have this point, not visited, and all of that. But remember, this still happened, visitation. So we should be selling this gold in a little dimension because because, what's going on here? I log in again. Because you do, I hope I'll remember. Then they did an upgrade to update or something. Hope I'll remember the password. Changing it to Olúwa orúkọ rẹ̀ tí ní ìdùn. A new day, another is giving unto me. A new day that is of joy. Let's want to sorry. What's going on here? Okay, what I'm looking for is hidden.
Morning, sir.
God bless you, sir.
Morning, sir.
God bless you, sir. So, go back to my analysis. So I can. Good morning, sir. I can hear you. All right. So here we have this.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I'm responding. Maybe it's your network. Okay, so better still, you look at this market to wait for it to either return back to. We have places for it to sweep liquidity and then mitigate another block that has not been mitigated. Yeah, or break this now and come to mitigate these 4 hours of the block and drop. That's what we're looking at, practically speaking, right? So where it is now is like a confused point of interest, perhaps. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Just a moment. So like I said, so probably we just have to wait because this is not no kind of we have this other block to be mitigated, and which I suspect to first of all happen. So maybe for just a scalping purpose, if you go back to, we're going to go to our tool and experiment some level of scalping. Do you understand? Yeah, so that's exactly what one can do. Yeah, so that's what one can do, right? 'Cause I don't want a gambling kind of a thing where you lose your money unnecessarily. 4121. 4121. So I said my expectation is for the market probably haven't rejected here. We saw how I came from up to down to get to this point. And so you have all of this. This is a pivot point. So the market traveled down to this point and bounced. So Earl sweep this liquidity. And this is more A plus, make more sense for it to return down and sweep this liquidity and be able to mitigate this order block, whichever one. And then we have it to, because it's already a downtrend for the meantime. So if it's a downtrend for the meantime, remember what happened here was it hit another block, another mitigated order block of daily time frame that make it to create a downtrend structure right now. So we have a high, we have a low here. All right, we did have a low here ordinarily, so we have a stop hunt. And so we have a high, a low, and a high. Then this is a new low. So we expected the market to actually come back to mitigate this other block, remember? And then even on this, these are points that you probably may see the market come back to. Or a kind of fair value gap for go to 4 hours that we marked, you're going to see a massive fair value gap. Yeah, that's so big, right? And so if you're going to go by that, okay, so if you're going to go by that, you expect the market probably to return back here. But now I'm going to, so even here, it's kind of inverse head, sorry, not inverse, a head and shoulder that happened. So there's so many factors that brought about this downtrend, head and shoulder. All right. And so we have this, but we already have power of 3 on daily time frame. So what do we want this market to continue down here? All right, we continue down here to sweep this yesterday low. And then once we're able to sweep yesterday low, then invariably we're going to have a touch to this 1-day order block and probably with the bands. But if we're unable to have a bounce, that's going to be very, very crazy. Then we break, this is the last support. And so if you cannot take, so the only thing you could do is to take a little position to expect the market draw down to this point. And that's what I've done. I've just take a little sell position here. So because you can see this kind of sideways, whatever thing. So when you take a little position, maybe you can use a very low, what do they call it? Leverage. So it's very poor. You can be disciplined enough to just wait for a sweep to happen down here, and then you're looking for a buy. If not, taking a small position here, you have to look at the stop loss here. That's too big somehow. 380 is not well refined. All right, it's not well refined. And then to see this sweep. So it's just that, yes, you get to 1:2 risk reward, but it's not well refined. But I expect the drop. But remember what I said, that another thing is that the market travel back up here. We have I'm not mitigated out of that block for 4 hours. So, but what I sold, I put my stop loss above here. So maybe let's look at on 4 hours. Oh, sorry, on 5 minutes. Can see this is a kind of sideways movement, and that's not a powerful trade. Right. So the only place that can give us an edge is our environment where we do. So you will have been able to, all right, trade this way. That's the only thing you could do because it's very choppy. You will have been able to, okay, that's something I have already the moment. So if you had come here, so these are tool will have solved some problem for a small sell, small buy. Can you see now? So let me see the one I sold. Okay, I'm on $22 profit right now, the one I sold. I didn't even sell on time because it's so confusing. But that was just, if anyone is doing scalping, then why not? So like this $22, I will have picked it because, all right, so that is to say, you can see, remember, I didn't have time to put all of these, our center. Remember our centers? Yeah. So I didn't remember to put all of those centers where, remember, so I just know that you already understand how to fix your center because here to here is 100 pips. And so the first place you have to target 50 pips before the 100. Then, so if the 100 give you, because we're on 5 minutes here, we have seen, right? Okay, this is a rejection. If you sold here, the possibility that you are stopped out here. All right, but this is the one that will have given you the profit. So you can see that the market is not actually very fine. Okay. All right. So it's not very fine. And then if this was previous day low, so I told you guys that the market should travel down to this point. And if you do that, that means we're looking at, there's another block that was within this region. So I probably will not be able to draw that one unnecessarily here, but let me just quickly do something inside our angle. Inside our angles, very simple, right? You remember that we said here, yeah, this things will not be too long because I need to send it across to you guys. Talked about the one with the line. So the other block that has not been mitigated, remember? And then we have just say this pivot point down here. Remember? Okay, so and of course we have the low, and so we can see it down here. And the high of the previous day, we can see it up there. And then simple to put, we have other stuff to identify, which has to do with the breakout structure. So we go to 4 hours straight away so that we can the 4 hours breakout structure, we got all of those things point here to here to here, and then we said on this 4 hours breakout structure, so this is here, breakout structure, this was probably mitigated. We have this, we have a breakout structure here, and we said we have something here. Remember? So here, that has not been mitigated. This is 4 hours. And that was how we label them. Okay, so let's just label them. So you should be able to understand 4 hours for H-O. Okay, let's put it back later. For HUOB. Why this one is what? Why this one is 1D UOB. Yeah, so if that's the case, so we have all of this here. So this is a break, and you expect market travel up to that point. And then so we step down to an hour. So remember when the region of our stuff, yeah, good. So now an hour, I don't want to disturb myself unnecessarily. You see through the structure here. And this is a breakout structure because we've gotten a market structure shift over here. Yeah, so don't mind this level, okay? So don't bother yourself. So, but when we break this, we expect to return back to this point, which is still aligned with this 4 hours, right? Good. And then the market hasn't gone there, struggling, but we'll look at if we'll get there. And now the previous day high that was said and the previous day low down here. Good. And so we go to 30 minutes and we got something in 30 minutes that was unique. We got this here, this 30 minutes. This. So that's a rejection here. So we got a rejection here, but it's not traveling far or a proper rejection. So it means if this market is going to break this point, you expect it to come down here and drop. So in whichever way, but scalpers are going to be making money if you know what you're doing. But remember, our target is here that if this market travel back up, don't get carried away. It has a stoppage over here. That's one thing you need to understand, okay? All right, good. So if that's the case, then if we're going to go down here, remember, this become a liquidity. So internal liquidity, and the market take the liquidity. And will you return? It has another block that has not been filled here. And then it could get that other block filled. That's one of the things we're trying to explain. So if that's the case, so that was why I so little, but I told you those of us who understand our, 50 pips goal scalping strategy, you will be making money here. And how do we arrive at that? We still step down to 15 minutes. So we already have an idea now. So even the 15 minutes, so you have the breakout structure over here. On 15 minutes, you have a breakout structure here. So you have this point, that 15 minutes. So we can just still take it out because that's a 15 minutes too, that the market could actually get to 15 minutes over there. All right. And we have I think 30 minutes or 1 hour fair value gap over and over everywhere here, right? Then I think we have that 1 hour fair value gap too, wide one here. So now, so the 15 minute, we now said trade with our 50 pips gold scalping strategy, and you know what it is. And now say, okay, if you cannot get it properly, so you can, okay, so you can see my own selling. I only sold one positions in my account, and now I'm seated on $47. Okay, you probably want to see it. Let me just show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Show you. Let me show you. So this should be. All right, it's $55 now. Yes, you can see, right? Because why I told us about what I was doing. You can see, where are you? Let me show you here. It's now $78. Can you see, guys? $83 so fast, because I said we should be looking at sweeping the low of yesterday, and of course probably run into. So if you are in the trade, you could be taking profits, because don't mind me, sometimes that's why I don't, training and trading does not really make sense. You can't have it. So you can see it, 70 something dollars already done. Closing, maybe I just, okay, Felix, take partial profit. So can do like this. And then when I take partial profit like this, what should I then do? You want to say, okay, Felix, the best you can now do is that you can adjust your stop loss, right? Can adjust your stop loss to break even, so that I know I'm already protected. But this is not a normal trade. This is supposed to be trade that you are picking your profits. So I put in my stop loss in break even, and so I have nothing to lose now, but I have position to lose, okay? But I'm already protected in terms of if the market flip up, which can flip, because these are already liquidity. You could be satisfied with all this liquidity, because you know where the market is actually not a very palatable place. All right, so let's return back to our environment where we're operating from. So let's return to our environment where we're operating from. So the best is, when they give you the profit, because you take it, you can imagine it's something dollars. I just took partial when it has dropped to something dollars. That means I collected only 30 something dollars, right? That's the market that brought in so much money. But you can see that this is like a sweep of liquidity. Come on, that's crazy, right? I was aggressive. So now you that have this tool, you'll see what has happened. So all you're waiting for is that, let's see the next candle. You know, this candle has not closed, and this is 15 minutes. So we have to wait for it to close. So if we're going to have power of 3, and then to buy from this point now to another point. But as it is now, for the fact that this is an aggressive reversal, okay? But as aggressive as it is, the candle has not closed. Until the candle close, before you can agree to say, okay, I am buying or something. But like I said, we have so many reasons to believe that the markets need to come down to this point. So only took little position to take some money from the table and all of that. Okay, so now this is the full episode. Like, I only come here so that those of us who are using our 50 pips strategy, scalping strategy, can see clarity of what we did. Look at it here. I sold here. And then now, this is a liquidity. It has swept this. Are we going to have the market close above here, which is already forming? This is 5 minutes. So, but the best bet is that, so you can get me stopped out, understand that, but the best bet will have been take that my big profit from the table. And assuming I didn't take half of the profit, you'll see that this massive profit that was given to me, the market will take it back again. So here we have. So, but invariably, so what we want is the total sweep. In fact, if we have a total sweep of this previous day low, it will make more sense for us. But remember that the market has this up to contend with, and then that's what it is. I think that's the pure thing on gold we're waiting for. So this chart should be kept, should be preserved for us to know, yeah, that these markets need to come down and then mitigate this other block. And this is a sweep of liquidity. And let me see if we have a fair value gap somewhere. That will make it very strong kind of stuff. Let's look at it here. So this is a fair value gap. Yeah. So coming to mitigate this other block will make a lot of sense. And that's what it is. So best bet is that you're probably looking at where the market come to mitigate this place and drop. So if you top back here, rejected, we are selling. All right. Because this other block too, this point too is very powerful. Sorry, let me just extend this one from this 1 hour. Now going by this 4 hours too. Look at this. This is all this fair value gap. So if the market's going to return back there, that's going to make sense. Then we sell. Now, if you sweep this is a liquidity, and tap into this other block, we buy. So patience is required. So meaning, let me just put it this way quickly. So awaiting buy after confirmation. So this will become awaiting sell after confirmations. You see now? Okay, so that's what it is and stuff like that. So let me just share this chart. And this one was that temporary sell just sold now. Oh, yeah, it's good. So the sell that I sold and I took partial profits on see the way when I narrowed down to this point was what made me to sell that sell. And because these are, it's a more confusing market, and that's why this guy was making sense. You see, this candle has not closed. For the fact that it ran down, you can see it has not closed. 3 minutes, 5 minutes to close. If you go to 5 minutes even, now this close of this, You understand? So it's on top of the line. That's our psychological level. And so it didn't close above it, it closed below it. So that was not a good one for us. Here the same. So now this is still going to sell, that's what it means. But if you look at it, to me, it can be more risky for me. I think that my position, let me see if he has gotten back to my, okay, he didn't get back to that my entry. So, but I've taken partial profits, and which is good because my real entry or my real market is actually coming. It's just that the way and manner we understand the market was what make us to say, okay, let's sell. If not, we're supposed to patiently wait for this guy here because this didn't come back to mitigate this point. And then that's why we're looking. The market is difficult. You can see last week he did all of these difficult things. But having gotten this, one had taken some profit here. But some persons will buy and never take profit and will waiting. But if you go to 5 minutes, you see that waiting, the person was waiting, it may actually purge him. Okay, so we're waiting for, so the remaining positions that entered, I didn't close it, except if the market returned back to my, what do they call it? The trailing stop loss I put and all of that. And you can see now that it's because this candle was a very powerful candle, right? But where did it close? Where did it stop? So if you go to 15 minutes, it has not closed. Still remaining about 3 minutes plus to close. So no conclusion yet. That's the thing. No conclusion yet. So the candle, yes, fine. Massive, you can see massive sell. And ordinarily, anyone who's using this our strategy, if you are scalping it with this strategy, number one, let's say as at the time I enter and I come back to this strategy, there's possibility that even this partial profit I took may not be the way I would do it. Right? Maybe taking like 2, 3 positions, I will have take profit. Many of you remember why am I going to take and where will I actually have taken profits? Remember our TP, both the psychological level, the major and the minor are TP levels. So, but 50 pips is actually here. So that means it's going to be, so you can see now, it's struggling to close above this point. Can you see? So that means ordinarily, these are 50 pips. Where's our 50 pips? Since this is 4080, so that will be 4075. Why? This is 70, 4075. Now that's the mid range. And then we did this to the coordinate. Okay, this is correct. This is correct. Okay. Yes, this is correct. And remember what we actually said here was this TP equal to. And so that means for us that have these two in our hands, when I sold on a plain ground, I will have come here, put TP here and another TP. So the two TP will have been crushed. As it's doing this now, I'm only looking of what is it going to do now. As this candle close, remain 1 minute plus, and it's still struggling here. If at the end of the day it closes above this, then I will be changing my decision either to find a buy, and then if I find a buy, remember this is just a hybrid of this thing. That means this will be 85, right? 85. One zero zero. 100. Remember? So that means I will be looking at you take profit. So here to here is 100 pips, here to here is 50 pips. Remember, that's what we have been doing in between the range and another take profit here, right? So to tell you that this market, okay, it closes are not above, I think exactly on the line. I think this candle will decide what to do because it opened and just went straight down. So that is to say the candle is going to buy up. So if I go back to 5 minutes, okay, go back to 5 minutes, that means I can have opportunity to consider as a choppy market, it's a very crazy market, right? So I'll go to 5 minutes. So if I go to 5 minutes, this is the issue here. It's not our confirmation, neither this candle that our confirmation. Yeah, so you understand? This is now a confirmation, this is now a confirmation. You remember what it's either the market come to this is a minor psychological level, and then give us our candle pattern for us to buy, or cross above this point, another candle get painted, and then this one. So that means we'll now be working with this candle. So because it was able to return, okay, sometime when the higher time frame didn't give you what you are looking for, because it's capping within our psychological level, the lower time frame will have given you. And you can imagine what I sold down. I imagine I didn't take the profit, or I didn't even take, I took only half. It will go to 80 something dollars by coming back here. See, oh, so if you are come back to, sorry, I'm because what I was teaching is more for the analysis, and so well, you enjoy this scalping independently on your own when you are trading and all of that. So let's watch what's going to happen. We're going to have a rejection on top of this one that will run for us to sell. But remember, your ultimate goal is that, remember your ultimate goal is that the market must, not must, need to. Okay, so now if you look at the market now, I say I don't want to go down. I still want to rally up. Look at that's what is assumed here. Look at your. So now let's go to our. You say I don't want to go down. That's what it has proved. But look at it. So that means you can see. Oh, so I will have been stopped out by now on that my position. Oh, sorry. Stop this recording. So ultimately, return back. Okay, I said this 120, another point. But this is already aligning with this, so I may not have too much thing to mark here. But you can see that there are low volume to actually perfect what we're supposed to have.